Everyone, it's Dominique, and this is part 3 of Tunisian Crochet Simple Stitch and making a wallet. So right now I have a total of 2 other rows done in the forward and the return row in one color, and now I'm going to add a second color. So what I did, I left myself in the position where I have all my loops on my hook, and now I would yarn over, pull through one, and then yarn over and pull through 2 at a time. But right now I'm going to add my blue color, or my secondary color. So I'm going to go with blue. This is by Drops. It's called Alaska. It's 100% wool. I'm just going to quickly go over how to read a label because I know there's some questions about it. Typically with the label it gives you the color code, so this will be color 52, and the dye group that it's a part of. Now every batch of yarn, even though it looks like the same color, it may not have been dyed at the same time, so it may be a different age, it may be slightly different in color. So if you're really particular about a certain project and you want the color to be identical, make sure that both numbers match, both the color and the dye lot. This isn't finished, so that's why you might not understand it. So as well, you'll learn the brand name, the type of yarn. They name their yarns. You can name your yarn Ice, Charisma. There are 2 other brands by Drops. You'll learn what it's made out of, whether it's acrylic, wool, alpaca, and how much, if it's 100% or if it's only certain percentages. Sometimes it will tell you where the yarn is from. This is made in Norway, Oslo, Norway. And as well, it will tell you the size. So this is for size 4.5 to 6 for needle or hook. Some labels, they would have maybe a little image or drawing of a needle, knitting needle, or a crochet hook to tell you specifically what size tool would be best for this kind of yarn. As well, it would tell you if it shrinks or not, if it's good for felting, or if it will felt and become a solid piece of felt after multiple washings, an approximate gauge, and how much in weight and how much in length. Sometimes you get a free pattern inside and other promotional bits like their website. Anyway, so that's how to read a label. And when you are adding your second color, you're not going to cut the pink because we're going to use it later. So attach your second color. So just start it with your work. So I'm going to yarn over, drop 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. I'm just shifting my stitches up a little bit. Okay, yarn over and pull up 2. So you're going to continue doing this in your second color all the way to the end. Just yarn over and pull up 2. Once again, I'm just going to speed up a little bit, or as fast as I personally can go, just to make things a little easier for both of us. And as I mentioned before, you're not turning your work. Even if you have if you have a second crochet hook at the end of your Tunisian, which you should, unless you're using an Afghan hook, we're not going to turn our work because this is based on a pattern that was supposed to be a shawl and is now something else entirely. And I just made a mistake, and what I did was I yarned over and I drew through the blue loop and 2 pink ones. So to undo that, I'm just going to let my hook out and just tug on my working yarn until I get to a spot where I want it. Don't tug on it all the way because you want to catch up and bring your proper loops back on to your hook. It just saves you the trouble if you go one at a time here. Alright, so, and I think now that you have a second color, you'll be able to see the basket weave or the weave pattern a little bit more easily. Especially when we'll be altering the two colors. There we go. Okay, so finally, here we go. I'm done. My return row. So as you can see, like I said, the two colors does make it a little bit easier to see that you can look at your piece and you can see those vertical bars. They're a little bit on a slant, but you get the gist of it. And there's these holes that need filling, which is what happens when you insert your hook into the vertical bars, drop a loop. You're filling up this gap in the center. So if you look at your work now, you'll have your main color that you started on your left, and you'll have your secondary color, which is my blue, on the right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with whatever's on my right, insert into the vertical bar, and yarn over with my secondary color. Keep doing that all the way across. And then what's going to happen is when you get to the end, you're going to let go of your blue. I mean, don't cut it or anything, but let go of your secondary color, and then you're going to do your yarn over, draw through one loop, yarn over, draw through two loops with your primary color. So that way you bring your main color back to the right, and then you'll switch again and go with the blue. I'll show you how it's done here as quick as I can. And it's just a matter of repeating it until you get the proper length or desired length that you'd like your wallet to be. Remember, you're folding it in half.